Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome back to the channel. My name is If you're new here, you're probably not new here because this channel has not been active for the last 4 years. That's not true. I've posted a video or two, but it's not been really active. It's not been like in the peak, in the glory days, 2020 onwards. 2 biggest years for this channel were really 2021, 2022. That was probably the peak. That was when most of the audience, most of you, if you've been around since those days, comment down below. Let me know, when did you discover this channel? How did you come in? Was it the drum covers? Was it the reaction videos? Those were really the 2 big pieces of content here on this channel. But I mean, maybe you found this channel through a lesson video, or maybe you found this channel through an unboxing of some sort, something related to the drum set. Let me know down below. When was the first time you discovered my content and what was the content? So I'm back. I am back. That's the title of this video. And this is the first video back to revitalize, re-energize, recreate, restart, reboot, active posting here on Wyatt Staff. It's not gonna be daily posts, it's not gonna be daily uploads, because it never was. Videos take some time, they take some work. Good things take time. But that being said, I'm coming back to post regularly here on this channel. I'm starting now here in July with reaction videos and talking head content like I'm doing right now, like you're watching. And that's only gonna evolve and grow. And coming into the fall, I'm going to be living in a house with a studio. So that's the big step right there. That's the big step right there, is actually I'm going to be, for the first time in 4 years since leaving Canada. Okay, a lot to talk about, but you get the idea, right? Haven't been around a drum set for 4 years, except for one video which I posted with my friend Maurice out in Germany. You guys probably saw that video, MGK maybe. But outside of that, I haven't actually been around a drum set in 4 years, and that's about to change. 2 of my friends in the United States, I'm going to be visiting. One of them I'm going to be living in his house and essentially house sitting for him while he's on tour with a band. And when I'm in those spaces, I will have the opportunity to actually create drum content for the first time, like I used to, like we used to do here. 140 some odd drum covers like we used to do here on this channel. So I am on my way back to the drums officially. I'm on my way back to revitalizing and bringing this channel back to life officially. And then yeah, you're gonna see some reaction videos coming out following this. So my name is Wyatt Stav, and well, when I was 16 years old, like I really didn't want to get a job. I really didn't want to get a real job because I found like the high school that I was in super suffocating, you know? Like going to high school was just killing me. It was crushing me. And I think like around me, a lot of people seem to really enjoy the system. A lot of people really, like when I was in high school, everyone kind of was pretty content for the most part around me. Friends and family were all kind of just like following the railroad tracks and getting the grades and off to university and picking the job and so on and so forth, you know, back then. At the time, like I really didn't give a shit about high school. Like I really did not want to end up like everybody else. There was a song by Good Charlotte called The Anthem. Don't wanna be just like you. What I'm saying is this is the anthem. And like, that was my anthem. Like I did not want to be anything like my parents. My parents were like, from what I saw, they were depressed and stressed and strung out. They did not enjoy their existence. They were working 9-to-5 jobs. They were always complaining about their boss. They were always living for the weekend. When they got to the weekend, they just collapsed on the couch because they were so exhausted from the 9-to-5 grind. I, as a child, was like, yo, I cannot end up like this. I do not want to be like my parents. Like that does not look like living. Like, what is the point? And then that question, what is the point, just started to drill a hole in my brain at some point. Like I would go to the bottom of myself trying to figure out what is the point to being alive? What is the point to this life? It's got really heavy, really existential really fast. But really, like I really held that question for a lot of years. What is the point of being alive? Because I'm seeing my parents and it seems like the only point is to like have a steak dinner on the weekend and go out to a movie. And like, that can't be it. That can't be all that there is to do. 14 to 16, I really dialed myself in on drum set. And the reason I did that was because like I was going to this careers class in school, and in careers class they were saying how we need to decide what job we're gonna work now so that we can take the right university courses and essentially build into the career. And that freaked me out because I was like, I'm 16 and they're already starting me down this path to end up like the stuff that my parents are doing, and the stuff that my parents are doing does not look like living. Like I don't want anything to do with that. I'm 16, let me figure out something else. I gotta do something else. So if you're really gonna push me into this corner where it's like you gotta pick a job, I looked at what I was into at the time, and basically like what I was into was, I wrote down on a piece of paper, I was like, all right, things I could do that I would enjoy. And I wrote down professional football player, American football, because at the time I was like a tight end for my high school football team, and I played like a lot of years at like a local league. I was really good at football, so I was like, all right, I'll be a professional football player. I was like, okay, that's the one. What else do I like? Oh, I love snowboarding, professional snowboarder. Mountain biking, I love mountain biking, professional mountain biker. And then the last one, I also really enjoy playing Linkin Park songs and Rise Against songs and Good Charlotte songs and Simple Plan songs on my drum set in my parents' basement. Freaking love that. Professional rock star. Okay, so we've got 4 options. Now, what to do? What to do? Let's see. Which one of these can I turn into a career? Or at least something that like could generate enough income that I don't have to end up like my parents. Please God. So this is me at like 14, 15 years old. And I'm sitting there looking at this piece of paper. My girlfriend Emily's over. We're talking. She wants to go to, I don't know, Waterloo and get something in engineering. And I'm like, dear God, I don't want anything to do with whatever that is, okay? I can't end up like my mom and dad. Love you, mom and dad, but that 9 to 5 stuff was just like, not for me. Nope. Good Charlotte said it. Don't want to be just like you. So I'm looking at this piece of paper. I'm like, I got 4 options. And I feel like if I presented this to anybody else, you guys right now probably even at home are like, yo, all 4 of those are crazy, right? Like who has that at like in their teens as realistic options for the rest of their life? I basically narrowed it down to the drum set because of these factors. I was like, the probability of making it to get like into the NFL is extremely low given the fact that I'm living in Canada and I would have to like make it into an American football top school and then get drafted in the NFL. I was like, that seems like the lowest probability of working out. So I don't know if that one's gonna be the one. I also at the time was really kind of getting sick and tired of football because I had a lot of injuries. I was pretty good, but I was like breaking ankles and all kinds of medical problems kept coming up from playing football, concussions, all this kind of stuff. I was like, maybe I don't want to be like in an injury cycle the rest of my life. All right, we'll scratch that one off. I won't play football. What else do we got? We have mountain biking and snowboarding. And what I knew at the time was whatever I was going to do, it needed to be something that I could really actually do. Like if I'm going to make my job one of these 4 things, then it's definitely going to require a lot of practice, a lot of work. Like there's no way in which I'm just taking on one of these and doing it casually and becoming a professional at it. There's no way. So I looked at mountain biking and snowboarding and realized the fact that at 14 years old living in Canada, only half the year can I really practice mountain biking and snowboarding. Like I can do both of those things, but I'm not gonna get extremely good at either of them because like where I lived in Canada wasn't close to a mountain and my snowboard or my mountain biking stuff was like, okay, well half the year it's like winter and I can't ride my bike. So the only one that I can actually really do on this list that I can practice year round that won't result in a bunch of injuries and then I think I can get really good at because I have a lot of heart for is the drum set. And that's where it started. That's where it started. That's how it started. From that point on, as like a 14-year-old will say, I was hell-bent on becoming a professional drummer. I would skip classes and go to the rehearsal halls in my high school, and I would spend like 2-3 hours just rehearsing every day at school. Then I would get home from school and I would continue to rehearse 2-3 more hours. What was I rehearsing at the time? I was basically just learning how to learn a song perfectly because that's a really, really difficult task to do on the drum set. Like if you're a drummer, you know that. To learn a song note for note on the drum set is no easy task. There are so many drummers. I coach drummers now. Like I coach content creators now. That's what I've been doing for the last 4 years is coaching other content creators on how to be successful on social media and YouTube because that's what I did. When I coached drummers, like there was a guy from Texas I was working with recently. He was making content on Instagram, doing well, getting views. But shorts are easy to make because you don't have to learn a full song. So a lot of drummers are like out there on Instagram and TikTok and they're not publishing full covers. Why? Because learning a song note for note is incredibly difficult as a drummer. I don't understand why it should be, you know? Like I think that learning a song note for note should be mandatory for any instrument. Imagine if you just change the lyrics mid-song of your favorite artists, bands, whatever. Like if you go to a concert, you're watching Motionless in White and Chris just starts changing the lyrics mid-song. You're trying to sing along and he's just getting the lyrics wrong. It's not the same song. And the same with the guitar. Like if a bass player, guitar player just like changes the solo or changes the chord progression of a song, it's not the same song. Yet for some reason in the drum space, we think it's okay to just like go to a show, go to a gig or play a song online and just be like, I'm just gonna improv this part. What? It's not the same song. Like that's my philosophy on that. Now I know that there's like a debate around this amongst drummers because half the drummers out there do make up their parts all the time. I think Matt Halpern from Periphery like never plays the same song twice. When he goes on tour, he even talks about how like as he tours, the songs evolve every night he plays. Like he has a rough idea of where the groove structure is and he'll kind of stick roughly to that, but then all the fills and transitions and everything will change as he's playing it live. Don't understand that. Personally, I lean towards learn the song properly. So in the early days, like 14, 15, 16, it was basically just like I would take 1 month to learn a track. 1 month. Like my first song ever I learned was Monumental by the Flatliners. It took me an entire month to learn that song note for note, and it's super, super simple. But the reason why it took me an entire month was because I put in so much time and energy, concentration, practice, focus on actually learning the parts note for freaking note so that I could play it multiple times in a row and it'd be the exact same. That way I could film my first drum covers, which I did in multiple takes because they were all sort of like music video style. So we take one camera out to a location and shoot me from different angles in different takes, mesh it all together later in editing. So that's why I needed to learn songs note for note, but that also just gave me the ability to play tracks note for note. Like, isn't that important? If a band hits you up, it's like, hey, can you come tour with us? And you don't know how to learn their songs, what are you gonna do, you know? And that has happened to me, right? I have played with many artists, and in getting those calls, I was confident enough to be able to say, yes, I can learn these songs note for note. 100%. Learned them, went, had a great time with that artist. Early years was just learning how to learn a song note for note. And on this channel, I do have published a video on how to do that. So if you're interested, I'll link that video above here and you can check it out down below. And it takes you through my process of how I use Logic Pro X to transcribe the MIDI to any song, and then how to learn that song, drill that into my body so that it feels like muscle memory. I don't have to think when I play it. And it takes like work, it takes time, it takes hours, but it's totally worth it in the end to develop that skill, because you can translate it into any other instrument, and then anything else you do in life to like, it just teaches you how to get good at something, which is a skill that I've definitely used since the drum set in so many areas, including video editing. So the first two songs I ever covered was Monumental by the Flatliners and Asking Alexandria something. I don't remember what the song was. I don't remember what the Asking song was. And both those songs took me a month or more to learn, just to drill them into me. You know, I got faster and faster. I got to the point where I could basically learn a song note for note perfect in like 5 days, 4 days. And then near the end, like I had gigging opportunities that came through where I had like 7 days to learn 30 songs, and I would learn them all note for note perfect in 7 days. So it's just something that like you learn as you go. You get better and better as you go. You develop that skill of like how to retain the information, how to get the song into you quicker and quicker. And I found that writing stuff like writing out notes by hand and writing out MIDI in the computer in Logic Pro X so that I could visually see the note placement as the song was playing, that all like huge difference. Well, that's basically the origin story. Was essentially like I didn't want to get a regular job, so I just burned myself into drumming. Like, wow. I would wake up at 2 a.m. You guys know it, right? If you've been at the channel for a while, like I had a video back in the day that blew up. It got like 200,000 views, and it was me talking about my daily schedule, my weekly schedule, which was 2 a.m. rises so that I could go and like practice songs, learn songs, edit covers, get these things done, work hard on the channel so that then I could go to the day job and still make the money for the rent and have a little bit left over to like replace a cymbal here and there. But you guys saw the early videos, like if you're a drummer, you know, like when you're working like base level, entry level positions, or you've got like a 9 to 5 sort of minimum wage setup, trying to replace cymbals and stands, it's crazy difficult. Those pieces of equipment are extremely expensive, and you gotta try and figure out how to do that somehow with this little amount of income you're making, working 40 hours a week. It was difficult in the early days, for sure. Years I spent waking up at 2 a.m. and grinding out as many covers as I possibly could, trying to get to the point where this channel eventually got to. That's cool. It worked in the end, of course. Where have I been sent? So I wanna talk about sets, right? Because we grew the channel to 316,000 subscribers, to 626 videos. We have like, I think 130 performances, which is like the bread and butter of the channel. My favorite part of the channel is the drum covers. 121 videos with 121 drum covers. What happened? I definitely burnt out. Like the way in which I approached building this channel demanded of me like a lot of hours. Like I just highlighted, you know? Like I would wake up at 2 a.m. I burnt out. Like I burnt out trying to build this channel. And then I got to the point where I just couldn't sustain. I was also completely uninterested with music, metal, punk rock. I got really into psychedelics for a time, and those really helped me get out of a lot of the addictions and difficult sort of cycles and perspectives that I was stuck in as a child. Since my youth, really. I just had like a lot of heavy stuff to sort out, as we all do. But essentially, as I went through the healing and the growth related to moving into new perspectives, it also meant that like I kind of lost interest in a lot of the old styles of music that I was into. So at one point I felt like I was kind of faking the reaction videos, I was faking the drum covers, I was just faking because like I didn't want to spend all my time inside in a studio listening to like Wild Eyes by Parkway Drive or Dark Days. Like it just made me feel depressed and lonely. Like I spent all my time in this dark room learning this song that's like about the end of the world. It's summer out, my friends are out doing stuff, and I'm just like kind of cut off from the world and like on my own listening to this really heavy, negative, kind of depressing music that I once loved and that a lot of you guys still do love and that, you know, I'm slowly returning to. But that said, like with balance this time, And it just got to the point where I couldn't handle it anymore. Like I needed a different aspect, a different view on life. And so 4 years ago, I packed everything I owned into 2 backpacks and with my partner at the time, left Canada. And I've been now through 35 countries across 5 continents, living as a digital nomad, making memories, learning lessons, climbing mountains, running marathons, meditating with monks, doing everything that I possibly could in the last handful of years to get to the point where I am today, which is like a much better place than where I was 4 years ago, 5 years ago. Much healthier state of mind and outlook on life. And that's like how I've grown up, you know? That's really how I've grown up. Like the YouTube channel really helped me to mature to a certain point, but then going out into the world and like traveling, meeting people, experiencing new cultures, opening my mind to like different perspectives on life. Like Asia totally changed me. I lived in India for a few months. Like India is like, it's like a different planet, some of the places that I've lived and been. And I'm so grateful to have had all that. And now I'm just kind of rambling. So I'm gonna get back on track. I'm coming back to the channel. That's the point of the video. That's why it's titled I'm Back. And I'm doing that because I'm kind of like, I've come full circle. Like the hero's journey is one where you start, you know, like Luke Skywalker starts in Tatooine and then by the end he's back on Tatooine, you know. I'm kind of like doing that same sort of cycle where I started with this channel and now I'm returning to this channel. I'm not gonna stop with my other channels. I have Life with Wyatt and I have Yoga with Wyatt. If you're interested in either of those topics, you can find links to those down in the description below. Those will still be uploaded too. As well, I'm still a life coach and I'm still working with video editing clients. So those are all things that I'm doing on the side right now to support myself. But that's all been because of the absence of the income from this channel. So we'll see what happens now going forward into the future. I've got the drum set lined up for fall. And in between now and then, I'm gonna make a series of talking head videos about my life and about music and releases that are coming out, because I think that there's equally an audience for both of those here on this channel. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. That's the update. I'm back. Welcome back to the channel. You're gonna see another video drop tomorrow and let's go from there. So let me know, are you stoked? How do we feel? Comments down below. It's just gonna be me this time. Lindsay and I broke up 2 years ago, so there will not be a second half on this channel. It's just gonna be Wyatt Stav, which is the name of the channel, which makes sense, right? So lots changed. Let's see what we can create together. I'll see you guys very soon with something new.